Yo, what's poppin' everybody? This is Saber Finding 4 for our first deck video of the year. It's going to be an Ogerpon deck, but not the grass one, the original one. This is going to be a deck based on this Fighting Ogerpon EX, also known as the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. So I call this deck Terapagos. It's got a nice sound to it, doesn't it? Because this is going to be a sort of lock deck. This guy, he's seen play a little bit here and there. Usually as a tech in like stupid Snorlax decks or in other decks that can power him up. But with the Cornerstone stance, this guy's going to be fully immune to Pokemon that have any ability. And this includes EX Pokemon, Vs, and regular Pokemon too. So this is a pretty widespread powerful ability and can completely shut down some decks entirely. Now, he has basic HP, I guess everything else about him is standard. 1 retreat is better than 2, that's for sure. And Demolish only does 140 for 3. That's not very good. But the idea is if we can power this guy up and it's going to be immune, we got actually a whole army of them powered up, then decks that are really relying on ability Pokemon are going to struggle. If they can find a trick to maybe deal with one, if I got a bunch of them powered up and boosting their HP, then hopefully it's an auto loss for them. But basically, just 140 for 3, and this is gonna ignore weakness, resistance, and effects. The resistance and effects is good, but the weakness kind of sucks because the fighting type, we could have hit some key things for weakness actually, like lightning Pokemon, and massively boost our damage, but it is what it is. That's what you get with him. And I'm building a deck based on this guy, fully powering him up, thanks to this Terapagos, the regular one from the latest set. I mean, I think it's a pretty great effect and easy to just not point out, but easy to just see. Okay, energy acceleration, 3 energies from the deck. There's got to be a way for this card to be good, and it is. As long as you can do this on a Terra Pokemon, as long as you have a Terra Pokemon on your bench, you can attach 3 basic energies with this guy. So pretty nice, a bit similar to Joltik. They got to be different types. But it works even in this case because this guy only needs 1 fighting to attack. The rest can be colorless, so I can just run a bunch of basic energies and we'll get the job done. So, hopeful opener, powering the Terapagos, and then against ability Pokemon, hopefully we can get some nice wins. Now, you can make the deck more consistent if you don't run the Gastrodon, but I still decided to run it here. It's sort of a Ogerpon Gastrodon deck. This is going to shut down stage 2 Pokemon abilities, and it just pairs up with this guy even more. I mean, this deck is just a complete nightmare for something like Charizard. Any other deck, like maybe Qianpao, that could be a big problem too. Shut down their Excalibur, shut down just so much. So yeah, you could drop this for more consistency cards. You can put in something else as a tech, like Barbargle or something. But Gastrodon is going to stop a lot of stuff. And stop Dusknoir too. Okay. My Radiant Pokemon of choice is going to be this Charizard. We don't need to discard energies with Greninja or do any wacky stuff like that. So this guy is nice as an additional attacker. It's just something else that can hit for a lot of damage. I can run the fire energies anyway. Just put 1, and then late game, this guy is a great attacker. I mean, if you play against things that don't have abilities, this guy isn't going to be very good because you can't hit them for a lot of damage. Maybe Charizard can help a little bit. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but you never know. And then last Pokemon is the Latias EX. I also include this because just to have enough basic Pokemon, I believe it should be 8, 9, 11, 12. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, I got 12 basic Pokemon, it's a good amount. But since a lot of the stuff here is basics, and maybe the Charizard can get stuck, or this guy can get stuck, you never know. This helps, giving us the free retreat. It just helps to get the Terapagos in the active position. We want to play second with this deck, put this guy up front, and then go for Prism Charge, so we can power up the EX quickly enough. That's it. For the trainers, I do have space in this deck since we don't really run a lot of evolution Pokemon and we don't need to run rare candies, so I have things like the Bravery Charm here to boost our HP, and the stadium of choice is also going to be the Lively Stadium. So between this and the Charm, this guy can become a decent little tank Pokemon, I guess. Difficult to deal with. The Stadium is going to help everybody too. The Terapagos, the Charizard even. Maybe Charizard can tank a hit with 190 HP. And yeah, got the space for these techs. Got around the typical consistency cards though. The 4 Nest Ball. The 3 Terra Orb in this deck, since Ogerpon is a Terra Pokemon. I can use this to grab this in hand too, so it's pretty good. And the double Ultra Ball, something to get the Gastrodon too. It's not really a super emergency to get it, but it's something we want to get out to stop stage 2s with their abilities. Got the double Earthen Vessel too. Gather those specific energies that I need, like fire and fighting. Might as well have it. And then what else do I got? I mean, typical stuff. I'm running the triple trekking shoes as well. Item-based draw, just boost up our speed. The double switch, once again, to make sure I open up and got the right Pokemon up front that I need. Terapagos to attach the energies, and then the attackers to attack. If my opponent tries to get things like Gastrodon stuck too, this is an out. Same for the Prime Catcher. Switching outlet plus a pooling card. Very, very good. Just in almost any deck, this card has utility. So I got it in. And then I got the... What else? I mean, I think I covered everything in terms of the items. Stadium. I mean, supporter cards, standard stuff. The Iono. The 1 Cynthia. I guess if one of our guys die, get that extra draw. 1 Research. Having this in because I can probably afford to discard some things. We don't run a bunch of evolution Pokemon. The double Youngster. The 1 Irida to get just any trainer, I guess. And can also get the Shellos too, can't forget, so gives us a little bit of extra utility. And what else? I mean, the Zissou, just the additional, hopefully, solid draw she can provide, depending on my opponent's hand. And Boss's Orders, the 1-off, use it at late game, use it at the right time with the game. And I think that's it. I mean, I really do wonder how things are going to work out with the rotation. We're just going to lose a bunch of supporters again. Everybody's going to be maxing out this guy, and then all of a sudden he won't be bad anymore for some people. But what else? I think I covered everything. I mean, very short deck profile, but there's not much to it. Just a basic thing, basic tactic I thought of. I thought if I want to make this guy somehow work, what Terra Pokemon kind of power up. This guy seemed to be the easiest and best option. As for the energies, we run 4 basic fighting energies and 3 basic fire energies. This is for Charizard and of course the 1 fighting that's needed for this guy. Gastrodon is never going to attack, but I guess if you do somehow put 3 manuals and your opponent gives you enough time, Gastrodon can use that too. But it's just for this guy, the fightings. And then a basic of every other type, just so that we can have variety to grab with this guy. If we have some of them in hand, you know how it is. You want to have enough targets in your deck. I don't got any like super rods or ways to recover energies, so 13 is a decent amount. I mean, 3 and 4, and then 1 of every other type besides Fairy, since we can't use it anymore. That's it. And this is the deck profile, guys. The last sort of idea I thought of from Surgeon Sparks. Before you know it, we're going to get the Prismatic Evolution set. And I think that's going to have a bunch of new cards. I mean, I don't know. I thought of maybe using some Stage 2 Pokemon from Surgeon Sparks, but I know that I'm just going to be wanting to hit my head on the wall trying to use them. I'm trying to use something like a Fire Stage 1 with Victini. I wasn't satisfied with my options, so I gave up on that. So, just doing this, I guess. The Ogerpon deck. Hopefully for some good wins. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like. Share the video with your friends. And I'll see you guys on the matches. What a